Good morning, this is Mike Molostin. We're going to start our webinar shortly in a couple minutes. Want to make sure everyone who had signed up has an opportunity to join us. Please be patient with us. It'll take a couple more minutes as we let other people join us. We'll start at the top of the hour, and we'll go through our webinar today on IPC Essentials. Good morning, this is Mike Molostin, and welcome to IPC Essentials. This is a free webinar. Thank you all for joining us today. A few housekeeping items before we get started. If you have any questions during the webinar, please use the question box, the item that I just brought up, you can list your questions in there. We will try and answer them as we go through the presentation. If we don't, we will answer all questions because they are tagged to those who submit them. If we don't get them answered on the webinar, we will get them answered by return email to you. You should all know that you will get a recording of this webinar that will be sent out to you approximately 5 days after the webinar. It takes a couple days to get the recording set up, and we will send it out to everyone in attendance. We will also send it out to those who could not attend today. That will be a few days after those of you who attended our webinar today. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. The other item today is Ayana Nickerson could not be with us today. She has a personal item that she needed to take care of. And so it is just Chris Roberson, who is the Manager of Certification and Training. He will give part of the presentation, and myself, Mike Molostin, as a Marketing Manager with IPC, will give another portion of the presentation. So let us begin our presentation today, and we will try and answer all your questions as we go through the presentation. So quickly go through the agenda. We offer up a welcome to you. Thank you very much for joining us. And we have used webinars, GoToWebinars, frequently to present new information from IPC. Hopefully these you will find informative and helpful in learning about IPC and what new products that we're bringing to the marketplace. We will go through IPC Essentials, which is a new module for the certification program. We're going to go through the requirements and the benefits of this IPC Essentials, in the implementation of the program, course details. We are going to do an actual live demo. We'll actually take you to IPC Edge and actually go through a live demo of the course. And of course, we will answer all your questions as we go through the webinar today. As a reminder, again, we are going to send a the recording of this webinar today out to everyone who is in attendance. It'll take a few days to get that sent out to you. You will receive it by email. So Chris, I'm going to let you begin the program with our first slide on IPC Essentials Certification Program course.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you everyone for coming. I see from our list that we have close to 150 people on here, so that's a great turnout. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. So what is IPC Essentials? It's a certification program course. So why did we do it? Well, you asked, we listened, and IPC Essentials is our response. IPC training centers and members and member companies asked that IPC put together a course that talks about IPC itself, where IPC came from a little bit, the name IPC and things like that, but even more important, the information about how standards are made, the industry itself, the basic introduction to how an assembly or a circuit board or circuit assembly is made, and what are the impacts to the industry by the standards? How do they help? Why do we really care about standards? These are a lot of questions that trainers typically field in an average course. Many of the courses are presented to people that are brand new to the electronics industry. And the IPC training and certification courses, the actual certification courses, they aren't exactly designed for a beginner. They're designed more for someone who's been in for a little bit, who has a basic understanding. And we found, and the training centers found, that there was a gap there between beginners and those who are ready to take the courses. So we created an additional training component to complement the certification programs. The IPC Essentials course is mandatory for initial certification and recertification of CITs. Now, one of the questions that comes up is, do you mean that I have to take this thing every 2 years? No, that is not the case. This is a one and done is what we're calling it. That means you take the course, you go through it, you complete the exam that is at the end. We'll talk about the exam requirements in a little bit, but we want you to take this and you're finished with it. When that's indicated in your record that you've completed it, you're not going to be required to take this course again. It's a great course. If you want to do it again, you're welcome to do so, but it's a one and done. So you're not required to take it more than once, and no recertification for this course at this time. So why did we do it? As I talked a little bit about it, contrary to common belief, a lot of industry employees don't have much knowledge or experience with IPC standards or the industry itself, or how the standards impact the industry. So this is part of our continuous improvement to the certification programs, and it's also evidence that we are responsive to our membership and to the industry. So we can go on to the next slide. A little more about the course itself. All MITs and CITs, as I said, are required to take this. At this time, this is not a required course for the CIS, the Certified IPC Specialists, but all CITs and MITs, you do need to take this course. It's called IPC Essentials. We're calling it a prerequisite, and because after our established date, February 1st, 2017, if you have not completed this course, you will need to complete this course before you will be allowed to present further courses and access the certification portal to present those courses. And we'll talk a little more about that implementation going on, but I just want to specify we would like for everyone who is currently a CIT or who becomes a CIT between now and February 1st, we'd like to have that completed before February 1st. It's up there and available now, so you could, after this webinar, go right out there and take the course, and you would have your requirement completed. We are calling it a prerequisite because a new CIT would have to have this done before that CIT could present a training course and access the portal to present that course. As I said, it's not currently required for CIS, but it's extremely useful. And we have already had companies that have viewed the course and have decided that all of their employees are going through it. We had a company just yesterday decide that several thousand of their employees are going to go through this because it's a great course. Some of the benefits why we did this, of course, as I said, it's a response to request, but taking the course reduces some of the burden for trainers. Some trainers actually had to or went about creating their own training modules just about the core knowledge of standards and why we use and how to use standards and what does a standard really do or mean. So this is going to help those trainers, those people that are taking the classes. They don't have to answer all of these basic questions right at the beginning. We were told that trainers were spending a lot of time at the beginning of their course answering these questions. Now the trainers won't need to answer as many of those questions. The students will have the knowledge. They will be able to concentrate on the knowledge of the standard that they're training. This also validates the level of knowledge needed to optimize the certification training. We're doing our best to bring new CIS and CIT candidates, those who are just starting out with their certification, just bringing those people up to a level set position so that the certification course is more productive and more valuable to those students. In general, students will get a better knowledge of IPC standards, how to use them to solve everyday problems, issues that come up, how to use the standards to look over the assemblies, how to know what's acceptable, what will work for your product. The other thing this does is it brings people to the IPC Edge online delivery platform. That means it's flexible. It can be scheduled at any point in someone's day or evening or coffee break or whatever the case may be. The course is, you'll see the structure in just a little bit, but it's structured in several modules. The student can go on, take a module for 5 or 10 minutes, go on with the day, come back to it, complete the next module. In total, it's about 65 minutes or so of course time. But it's not, you have to sit down and take 65 minutes of course right now. So it's a flexible schedule. It's a cost-effective solution for providing core knowledge to all IPC certified professionals. This one course provides a lot of information. Personally, I've been in the electronics industry for almost 30 years, and I even learned some things about IPC in the industry as I was helping develop this course. So don't think that just because you've been here forever that you won't have anything to learn from this course. There's a lot of good information. And finally, it is meant to complement the existing IPC certification programs. In the next slide, we see that the IPC Essentials has been released on IPC Edge. This slide deck was made up a little bit earlier, so it says a November 1st, 2016 release date, and we did hit that date. It's up there and available, and we've had a number of people go through it already, and they're certified, or they have completed their requirement, and they're ready to move on. Now, I've mentioned this date, February 1st, 2017. What that date means to you as an MIT or a CIT, if you have not completed this course prior to February 1st, 2017, you won't be able to schedule any new classes in the certification portal until you've met this requirement. For new MIT or CIT candidates, those that are coming on between now and February 1st, or even going on in the future, we would like to see this course taken before they go in and get their certification. It is, the way we've set it up is that those of you in the training centers, the candidates will still be able to come and take the certification class. You can recommend that if they haven't taken this course prior to starting their class, that they can go and do so at a break or a lunch hour or in the evening as they're waiting for the next day of class. The pinch point, though, is going to be until this course is complete, the individual MIT or CIT will not be able to schedule new classes in the certification portal. And that date, again, is February 1st. Keep that in mind. New CIS candidates, or even existing CIS candidates, are strongly encouraged to take the course. It's an excellent source of knowledge, a lot of information, not just about IPC, but about standards development, why standards are important. And we even go through the different sections of design, of PCB fabrication, assembly fabrication, testing, conformal coating, and we talk about very briefly a high-level look at what a circuit board assembly goes through from design to testing, how it's made, and where standards can apply along the way to ensure a good quality product. And one of the questions, again, that comes up, what about other languages? Yes, we are considering other languages. We have, currently, it is available in English. Obviously, IPC is an American company, and we speak, as I tell my students, I speak two languages, English and bad English, and that's it. So at the moment, it is in English, but we are working with our developers to present this in several other languages. We're looking at our main languages, and I say main as in the largest use languages first. Those four are Spanish, French, German, and Chinese. Those are the ones we're looking at currently. We haven't completely decided yet if it's going to be a full change of the course with voiceover and everything, or if it will be subtitled. Those are both possibilities, but we are looking at other languages and collecting data and the costs associated with making those changes. So on the next slide, we've got a little more information about the course itself. As I mentioned, it's about a 65-minute online course. Now, does that mean that when you sit down, you will be done in 65 minutes? Not necessarily. It means there's about 65 minutes of content. There are some knowledge check-ins at the end of each module, some multiple choice, some matching, some questions to just verify that the student has actually paid attention to everything that's happening along the module. As the student has the freedom to explore, he or she can go through and read and look at slides again. They can look at additional information. There are a couple of spots in the training where they can click here to learn more. If they choose to go along those routes, then it may take a little longer than 65 minutes total. But we're saying it's about 65 minutes. The learning objectives are that the student will come away with a better understanding of the history of the electronics industry, where we came from, where standards help improve the industry. The key steps in the production of a circuit board. If you look on your screen, the lower right picture says PCB fabrication, and that's kind of our animated mock-up of the PCB fabrication floor. This is where the layers of the board are pressed together, where the board is drilled, or those sort of steps, and we talk about what the PCB goes through and where the standards can apply. In addition, we talk about where the standards come from. Who says that this is the best way to do something? How do we come up with that information? We talk about IPC as a volunteer organization, that they're developed by industry, and we give information on how the individual can get involved. No, you don't have to be an IPC member to be involved. We encourage people at all levels of the electronics industry to be involved in the development of these standards. We talk more about how to apply standards certification. Why is certification important? Yes, you can use the standards without being certified to the standard, but getting certified gives you a number of benefits to yourself, your company, your customer, and the industry as a whole, and increases the quality of the product produced by the electronics industry. Finally, the last learning objective there is the students will come away with more knowledge on where to get assistance in solving the technical challenges. IPC is at the association that connects these people from the industry, and we're kind of a networking point. You can come to IPC, and if someone on IPC staff isn't an expert in the question that you're asking, we know people who are. We have great contacts throughout the industry. So not only can the students who take this learn about IPC, but learn about where to get help with problems or questions and challenges that come up every day. As I mentioned, there are knowledge check-ins with each module. There are 6 modules. Had to count those for myself there on that third picture. Each module has a small check-in at the end, and then at the end of all of the modules, there is a final assessment of questions. The test score needs to be 80% or higher to pass. You do have one retake that's included with the initial purchase. One of the first questions people ask is, how much does this cost? IPC members, $75 per person per access for the course, $95 for non-members. The great thing is it can be purchased by credit card or purchase orders for IPC members. You can go on to the IPC Edge platform, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, and you'll be able to make the purchase directly there. Companies, you can make purchases of vouchers and then assign those vouchers to individual students, and they can go on and take the course at their leisure. So I think that is the end of the portion that Mike wanted me to cover for now. So I'm going to hand it back over, and Mike will talk a little bit more about accessing the program.
Thanks, Chris. Great job. I think your explanation of IPC Essentials was detailed, and I think it was a great explanation. And for those of you on the line, you should also know that everyone, all of the staff at IPC is going to take this course. Our CEO, Mr. John Mitchell, has suggested that everyone on the staff take the course. His feeling was that if we're going to ask our members and our people within the electronics industry to take the course, that our staff should also take it. And I actually took my course last night, and I actually, like Chris, have been in the electronics industry for over 30 years, and I learned some new things as well. So, where do I find IPC Essentials? IPC Essentials is on our online learning platform, our LMS system called IPC Edge. Right now, there are a couple of different ways that you can get to IPC Edge. One is if you typed into your browser edge.ipc.org, that will take you to the site. Or you can come to the www.ipc.org site, and you'll notice a carousel. I have an arrow, green arrow pointing to the carousel, and when that carousel pops up, you click on that and it will take you to the IPC Edge site. The other way is using the drop-down bar at the top where you have knowledge. If you clicked on that, that drop-down bar will have an item called IPC Edge, and you click on that, and that can take you directly to IPC Edge, the learning platform. So, IPC Essentials Pages. What I wanted to do is show you a couple pages from IPC Edge before I actually take you to a live demo. The home page, IPC Edge, on the landing page, you will notice that we have some featured courses. What we have up here now is a torque training for assembly, electronics assembly course. We have a couple of ESD control certification for trainers course, and one for operators, which is brand new. We launched this a couple weeks ago on IPC Edge, and now we are launching IPC Essentials. And if you clicked on the Learn button, that will take you actually to the page that I have shown here on the right-hand side, IPC Essentials Course page. And you'll notice on this particular page that we have a way to, if you wanted to purchase, you could add it to the cart. Or if you had a trainer who said, I want you as an operator to take this course before you come in for your CIS training. Here's the voucher. You would click on the Redeem Voucher button. Or if you are a trainer or a manager in your company and you wanted some of your operators to take this course, you could purchase learner vouchers and go through that process to purchase this course. So there are a number of ways to do it. You can, as an individual, you could add it to your cart, you could redeem vouchers, or you could purchase learner vouchers. And again, the pricing is non-members is $95 and IPC members are $75. So let's take you to our website, and I have that on I'll bring that up so you can see what our website looks like. And you notice this is edge.ipc.org. And on this particular on our website or LMS platform, you can find the course that I was just talking about. And again, this let me take you through this real quickly. So we have the home page. All learning on the taskbar here will take you to all of the classes that will list all of the classes that we have in IPC Edge that we're offering out to our the electronics industry, and by we list them in two formats. Right now we have by topic, which we have certification courses, skills development, learning plans, technical knowledge, professional development, and we will be offering and adding other topics for courses that we put on IPC Edge. This is a educational platform, and so we're trying to expand what we have, not only courses, but we'll have other formats that we will be using on here, such as white papers, technical papers, webcasts, videos, PowerPoint presentations. We want to use IPC Edge as a vehicle for anyone in our industry to get education in the electronics industry. So let's go back to our home page, and we're going to take you through how to get IPC Edge. So we have a brief description here on IPC Essentials. Clicked on the Learning button, and this brings up the course. And again, as I mentioned previously, you can purchase the course in a number of ways. One is to add it to the cart. You can purchase vouchers, or if you received a voucher from a manager or a trainer, you can click on the Redeem Voucher button. The pricing is indicated on the right-hand side here under Information. And additional information, what you should already know. For IPC Essentials, there is no prerequisite, but for certification like CITs, this particular course is part of the certification program and is a prerequisite. If I click on this course preview, it actually is going to take you to a YouTube site, and you can actually see a brief description. It only takes about 1 minute and 13 seconds of the course itself and what's involved in the course. And all I have to do is close that, and it brings me back to my course. I have a course description here. I have the learning objectives. What we expect that someone would get out of this course. We listed the course time at approximately 2 hours. That is to give, so we don't want people to get the impression that if they got it done in an hour, they cheated the system, or if it takes more than 2 hours, that's okay. The purpose of this course is to get the knowledge from the course and to make sure that you understand it. And again, this particular course requires an 80% passing grade. You are able to take the course, you are able to take the exam 2 times in order to pass, to make sure you pass. I went through the course last night, and which is great. I was doing some testing on the course, and one of the things I wanted to do was fail, and I did that on purpose. And what was very helpful to me was that after I failed, it showed me areas that I needed to go back and refresh on so that I could make sure I understood what I had missed. So I'll take you briefly through the process to add to a cart. So I add this to the cart, and you'll notice the box comes up and it says, you have added this to the cart. You can either go to checkout or continue shopping. If I go to checkout, it now shows what I have in my shopping cart, and it says if I'm an IPC member, that member price will show up automatically once I log in, and I'll show you the login process. So we're going to, I have an opportunity to remove this if this isn't the course that I wanted, but in this case, I'm going to say, let's go to the checkout. I'm going to click checkout, and it's going to require me to log in. I already have my username and password. For those of you who might be new to our system or who do not currently have a login, there is an area here that says new user. If you click on that, you are going to put in some basic information, your name, your address, the company you work for. And by the way, if you work for a member company, that will be verified by our system electronically. You put that information in, and then you will be able to continue for the login process. So I'm going to, I already have my username and password in here. I'm going to click on login. And one of the things that you will notice is that the price did change. It went from $95 to $75. So that pricing did change. And then what I'll do is, again, click on the checkout button. And when I do that, it's now going to take me to the checkout area. So in this case, it's going to want me to fill out some information, and I will put this information in. So my name, Mike, and my address, and then where I live. And as you can tell, I've already filled this out a number of times. And then continue to the next step. And then what is going to happen is we use a PayPal system, and we're going to, if I click on continue to the next, it's going to want my credit card information. And after that information is put in and it has been processed, then you would go to My Dashboard, and then you would be able to actually click the launch button and actually start your class. In this case, I'm not purchasing the course. I've already been through that process, but you can see I have a number of other courses on here, and you'll actually click on the launch button. The launch button will take you to the class, and you will begin taking your class from there. Once you complete the class, what will happen is that it will say, congratulations, you have passed. You then are able to download your certificate. When that happens, it will automatically also register with IPC that you have passed the course, and you now can that record is now secure, and you will be able to then continue on either toward your CIS certification, or you will then be able to go and continue to do your CIT training courses for CIS people. So I'm going to get out of here since that's, or actually, I'm sorry. Let me take you back to the home course, because I can show you one other step that we missed out on that I didn't show you, and that would be to purchase vouchers. So you notice that I cannot, I've already tried to purchase a course this way, but I can purchase learner vouchers. And if I click on that button, again, it says go to checkout. And I'm going to do that because I want to purchase some vouchers for some students that report to me, and I want them to take this course. So you'll notice the difference here. It says IPC Essentials, the type of course, so it says voucher. This box that is in white, I can adjust that and say, okay, I have 10 students who I want to take this course. So when I do that, I'm going to say update cart. And you'll notice that now I'm being charged not only for my course, but also for 10 vouchers, and my total for the checkout is $825. So if you took a screenshot of this page, then you could submit this as with a PO request to IPC, and then we will process and provide you with the information that you need in order to purchase this through the PO purpose or PO process. The other thing that I wanted to show you, I know you're going to ask the question, well, how do I submit that, or who do I submit that to? In the Help button, we have in about the middle of the page, it says PO, IPC members may purchase courses by using a purchase order. If you click on the members support, that's highlighted in this short note here. If you click on that, it will set you up with an email address. You'll put in the subject line, purchase order request for IPC Essentials course on IPC Edge. You'll provide the snapshot that you took in the text portion of the box, and then send that off to IPC, and the member support group will process your PO and send you back the voucher code that you need in order to purchase the program. And that is the end of my portion of the webinar today. Again, we now will move to the section where we can answer questions for you, and I'm going to open up the section box and see what we have as far as questions. Looks like we have a number of them. Let me see. The first one, can you guys hear me? Question panel. Oop. Oh, we have a question in here. If you hold more than 2 certifications, you only need to take this course one time, as Chris had mentioned earlier, and it covers all of the certificates that you currently hold. So if you're a trainer that has for 001 and 610, you only need to take this course once. You don't need to take it for both certifications. You only need to take it for one. And this will be, as Chris had mentioned earlier, the course, the IPC Essentials is a mandatory course now for CITs and MITs, and it's a requirement of the certification program. Let's see what other questions we might have here. The $75 cost is for individuals. It's not per site. That is the recommended price that was set up for this course.
For IPC members?
Yes, for IPC members. Looks like we had another question. Is the voucher the same as the money set up on the online certifications? So vouchers, again, if you, my understanding is if you have questions about purchasing vouchers, you can using, I think they have credits, correct, Chris?
Yeah.
The vouchers.
Oh,
Oh,
Amy's right there,
Amy's
but I
on.
was
Good.
Sorry.
going to
Thank
say,
you.
yeah, vouchers are
So
slightly different than the courses for the certification through the portal.
Go ahead, Amy.
that's what I was going to say. You would be required to purchase your CQI courses, through customer service, and your Essentials course separately through customer service as well, or
Thank
directly
you.
through the Edge site. You're welcome.
Okay, somebody asked a question about OVT format. We have had some questions about licensing IPC Edge. We are in the process of evaluating that to see how we would manage licensing the products that are on IPC Edge. So we are looking at that process. So somebody put in here, will there be any more of these surprises, expenses associated with maintaining my CIT status? Unfortunately, you used the word surprise, and this to us is important enough that we're sorry that you consider it a surprise. IPC Essentials was the idea for this course was brought to us from some trainers and from member companies. And the reason that this course was this idea for a course was brought to our attention is that the trainers and the member companies that brought it to us had indicated that when they send CIS students to go for training, that from the trainer's perspective, they had to spend time explaining who IPC was, what standards were, how they're used in the factory, and so that took away from the essential training of a CIS student who was coming in to do a course on 610. So this is not something that IPC dreamt up and said, "Oh, we want to force everybody to do this." No, it's not. This was something that was brought to our industry, brought to our attention, and it was asked by people from the industry, from trainers themselves, asked us to do this. In order to help out our industry, we also wanted to provide this type of course so that there is a consistent message that goes out to our global industry. What this course delivered here in the U.S. is the same course that would be delivered in Europe, or the same course that would be delivered in China, the same course and the information that would be delivered in India and other places on the globe. So there's some critical value there that we filled for our industry.
Mike, I just saw an email come in on your email that's shown on the screen. Somebody says that she cannot ask questions. Just so you know, there's a chat box. Nobody can verbally ask questions, but you should be able to see a chat box. If you don't, you can probably still use your email if you do have a specific question. But you should see the chat box. You probably just have to expand it in your GoToMeeting menu bar that's over to the right.
Somebody raised a question about the cost of the course. This particular course, when IPC did their initial, when we were looking at cost, we reached out to member companies, we reached out to training centers, we also reached out to the industry as a whole who offer online courses. and we gathered all of that information and came up with a reasonable price. We felt that the value of this product is such that the cost at $75 is not exorbitant. It is a cost that we went through and evaluated. We talked to people from within our industry to have them give us an idea for a cost, and we actually did some research with other associations and what their programs are in order to determine what the price of the product was. There's a question on here, can we use our CQI portal? Can I use the portal invoice to purchase IPC Essentials? Amy?
No. So keep in mind, Edge and the portal are two separate sites. They require two separate payments. So just something similar to how we looked at it before, you will have to purchase your online exams in one place, and you will have to purchase your Edge course directly from Edge or through our customer service department if you're using the PO. And then just to jump in, Mike, you have quite a few emails coming in with some of the questions for the webinar coming directly to your email, and I saw one come in that was asking about online print and if there's an option for that with this Essentials course. No, there is not an online print option. Students, and because this right now is required at the CIT level, not necessarily at the CIS level. The Edge site is accessible from any web-enabled device, even your smartphone, if you have one. So anybody should be able to use it. If you don't have the capabilities at your site, you would be able to take the course off-site, off of your work location. So online print is not an option for this course.
So one of the questions I just noticed is the key steps in the production of a circuit board and electronics assembly, are these all mandatory? My company only requires 620 for its activities. And even though your company is using 620, I think the other items within the course of how standards are developed, because the 620 is a standard, I think your students should understand how the standards are developed, what's involved, how they can get involved in standards, even though your company only does 620.
Mike, if I can,
Chris, I was going to ask if you could help me out.
Sure,
Yep.
no problem. What we did was focus on where the majority of the industry is. As with many things done with IPC, we have to look at the industry as a whole. And yes, there are some companies who only do cable assemblies. However, those cable assemblies are covered by IPC standards. You do use the 620 standard. So while the individual circuit board production steps, then there's only 3 slides that you might feel do not apply to you. The entire rest of the program, 99% of what's in there, does apply to you. The design portion, we talk about how assemblies and cables and things are designed and what standards apply there. We go on to talk about where the standards come from, and the 620 is one of those standards, and how they can get involved in developing that standard, where that information comes from. So yes, there are occasional slides in there that might not apply directly to you and your every single day activities, but 99% of what's in there applies to everyone in the industry.
So we had a question about from someone who said, we have a purchasing person who orders items. Do they purchase the voucher or the course? Our recommendation is that they would do that for the voucher because it would make it simpler and easier for you to process that purchase order if you had the voucher, if you purchased it with the voucher. It says, is the portal login the same as IPC Edge? Amy?
Yes, the portal login is the same. All CITs, if you are already a CIT, you already have a login, you will not be required to create a new one. If you do create a new one, you're going to end up creating a duplicate record, and even if you complete the course, it will not be tied to your other course, and it will still show that you are required to take the course. So please do not create a new record. You can sign in using your existing email address and your password. And just as a heads up, just additional information is that all usernames will soon require an email address to log in. So it's my suggestion that you get in the habit of using your email to log in instead of your username if you currently use a username.
Thank you. There was a question, are CIS required to take this course? At the moment, a CIS is not required to take this course. We may reevaluate this sometime in the near future. It is recommended, though, strongly recommended, that a CIS student take the course. The reason being is that if they take this course, they will have some basic knowledge before they come into their training, whatever standard they're going to train for. What we found is that it is very helpful to someone who doesn't understand standards, who doesn't understand anything about IPC and why they're having to take this course, other than their boss said, "Hey, if you want to work in this role, you have to get your CIS." It's very helpful to those students, to those learners who don't have that basic knowledge. So we strongly recommend that CIS students would take this course before they come in for their training. We had a question on here that said, what if our company is not an IPC member? Can we use a PO? Currently, we do not have that option. We are looking at some options for those companies who are not IPC members. We would recommend that you become a member because of all the benefits that are involved with membership. But if the company chooses not to, we are going to look at some methods in which to help those companies be able to pay for their courses. Another question was, are the exams timed? No, they are not. These online courses are at your convenience. It's your flexible time that you're using. They are not timed. You have all the time in the world to take the exam and complete it. Chris, it says, wow, long question. Is there a list of what training I should expect to do or essentials as a CID plus holder to be a CIT for a CID trainer?
Okay, if I'm understanding the question correctly, if you want to become a CID trainer or are currently a CID trainer, this course is going to be required as well. This is for all CITs and MITs. I think that's what you're looking for. We can take the question offline if you want to email us about becoming a CID trainer. We can answer those questions separately. That's not the topic for this webinar. But CITs are also required to take this.
Somebody asked the question of when is this all effective, and as of February 1st, 2017 is the effective date for IPC Essentials for CITs and MITs. If I can Go
if
ahead,
I can
Amy.
just elaborate on what's going to happen as of February 1st. So between now and February 1st, you want to get the Essentials course completed. If on February 1st you have not completed the course, if you try to schedule a class in the certification portal, you will not be allowed to, which is going to delay anything that you're trying to do. So I strongly encourage you between now and that date, so by the end of January, try to have your Essentials course completed. That way you don't experience any issues in the portal, but you will be able to sign into the portal. You will not be able to schedule any classes. So it's effective immediately.
Does this class need to be taken every 2 years? Again, when we started the webinar, no. This is a one-time class for all CITs and MITs. You do not have to take it every 2 years. We do not have a recertification for this. This is I think the best way to describe it correctly, Chris, is that this is a required module for CITs and MITs.
Correct, yeah. It is required for all CITs, MITs, and we call it a one and done. That means you take it once, it's on your record, and you're done. Now, I can't promise there will never be any changes to that, but as of right now, it is a one and done.
Thank you, Chris. Can you show us how to redeem the voucher? Yeah, actually, I think I can. I don't have a voucher for this for the course that we were looking at, but I can go back to, I'll go back to my dashboard and see if I have any vouchers. And actually, I do have a voucher, and let me see this, and it's going to be for, no, I can't do that one either. Okay, what you would typically do is click on the Redeem Voucher button, and this box will show up. Let me minimize my side box here, and this is what will show up. You will put the code in this box right here. Click the Redeem button, and then this box will come up again, and it'll have a green menu at the top that will say you have redeemed a voucher, and then if you click on My Dashboard, then it'll show where it'll show that you are now able to launch a course. So as you can see, I have a number of courses. I've been in the site doing some training and also doing some testing. And after you redeem the voucher, you put the voucher code. So again, you click on the Redeem Voucher, you put in your code, you click on the Redeem button at the lower left bottom. When you do that, it'll show that it has a green space up on top that says you have redeemed. You now go to My Dashboard, and then you can launch the program from your dashboard.
If I can speak on the voucher process really fast. Mike, can you go back to My Dashboard, please?
Sure. Okay.
Here on My Dashboard, under the Vouchers tab, if you give somebody a voucher number to redeem, so you can copy that number, send it via email. That user will then enter in that code in the redeem portion. Over to the right, you see the Details button. Clicking on the Details button will show you who has redeemed that voucher. It's important to note that a voucher can only be redeemed by a user one time. If they need to retake the course, if they failed the course more than twice, a new voucher or a new course will need to be purchased for that individual. But also clicking on the Details button, you'll have the option to export the information. If they had completed the course, right now we see that it's in progress. Had it been complete, you will also have access to that person's certificate. So I just wanted to point out what's available under this voucher tab. If you are issuing vouchers, you have this information available to see who's redeemed it, when they redeemed it, when they completed it, as well as access to their certificate. And just note as well that this can be exported. Mike, if you were to scroll down, right under there, if you did have a number of students, you have the CSV export. That will take it into an Excel and CSV format where you can then save the information as needed. There was a question that came up regarding the CID information and how to become a CID trainer. Please forward that question to certification@ipc.org and we'll assist you with that question there. I have seen some additional questions regarding the PowerPoint presentation as well as the recording. All of that information will be sent via email to all the attendees of this session.
That's correct. And we will send, I can send out the PowerPoint presentation as well. That will be sent out by a separate email. We don't have that option within the system that we're currently using. So we have about 2 more minutes that I'm going to have to, we're going to have to close up our webinar today. I would like to thank everyone for attending and asking so many questions. It's great to get and try and answer all your questions. Again, we will answer all the questions if they weren't touched on in the webinar. Again, we will be sending out the recording and also the PowerPoint to all of you who were in attendance today. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Amy.
I just wanted to point out that there is a separate help desk available for the EDGE site. If you were to click on the help tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom of those questions under the help tab, you will have access to the help desk for EDGE. So please try to keep your EDGE questions and your voucher questions separate and use the help desk for EDGE when needed.
I actually went to the help page on EDGE, and you can, middle of the page again, how can I get more information or help? And just click on the help desk button and you automatically will be set up to submit a question to us through the help desk. Again, thank you very much, and we appreciate your attendance today, and we hope we're able to answer all your questions. If not, we will be answering by separate email to the questions that we didn't get to today. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.